Hello friends. So today we are going to start with next category of variances. What we'll be doing today is first fixed overhead variances, then variable overhead variances. Today's lecture is a conceptual lecture. You'll get both these categories in detail. Then if time permits, one odd question from both these categories we'll be doing today. So starting with first category there, first category for the day, fixed overhead variances. Now before I dictate all the steps and a table, there are 5 steps, you know it, and one table. In variable overhead, 3 steps and a table. Try to understand how the fixed overheads are charged into your cost statement. There is a concept of absorption. There is one predetermined absorption rate that we compute to be charged from the customer. Absorption can be time based or unit based. Time can be days, it can be hours. So broadly speaking, there are 3 kinds of absorption that will come into picture. One is day based absorption, another is hours based absorption, another is units based absorption. So if I have to tell you broadly the 5 steps, you're not going to write it like this in the exam. It is only for your remembrance. FO1 is actual. FO2 is budgeted. Planning level. Whatever you planned at that point of time, busted fixed overhead. FO3, days based absorption. FO4, hours based absorption. FO5, units based absorption. You have to remember it like this. The headers you'll have to remember. I'll tell you how to remember. Calculation I'll teach you. Lots of practice there in this unit. Lots of practice. So you'll be easily able to get all the practice. But learning day is today. If you learn today, next few days you'll like it. You'll like to solve so many questions on this. Let me tell you one thing. Those who do it under formula approach, they find this category most difficult. Under steps approach, it is easiest. Actual, budgeted, day based absorption, hours based absorption, and then units based absorption. How is absorption done? At planning level, we calculate rate per day or units and apply on actual. So, I am detailing it little bit here. In day based absorption, budgeted rate per day multiplied by actual days. In hours based absorption, budgeted rate per hour multiplied by actual hours. In unit based absorption, budgeted rate per unit multiplied by actual units. How do you compute busted rate per day? Busted fixed overhead divided by busted days. Busted rate per day multiplied by actual days, you get FO3. Budgeted fixed overhead divided by budgeted hours. Budgeted rate per hour multiplied by actual hours. Budgeted fixed overhead divided by budgeted units. You get budgeted rate per unit multiplied by actual units. Very simple, not difficult at all. First step actual, second budgeted, third is day based absorption, fourth is hours based absorption, fifth is units based absorption. Once you calculate 5 steps, there will be a table, big table. You'll need to remember the names of variances as per the steps. And it will be in reverse counting, FO5 minus FO1, cost variance. FO2 minus FO1, expenditure variance, names you'll have to remember. FO5 minus FO2, volume variance. Under that, calendar capacity efficiency. FO3 minus 2, FO4 minus FO3, FO5 minus FO4. This is what you need to learn. Once you learn, the application is very simple. And once you know fixed overheads, variable overhead is a subset of fixed overhead. Out of these 5, 3 steps are applicable there. Will be very simple. So I'm going with all details, what you have to write in the exam and how to calculate those things in the exam. So looking at this, first step, FO1, actual fixed overheads cost incurred. How to get this? Either directly given or actual fixed overhead per hour multiplied by actual hours, or actual fixed overhead per unit multiplied by actual units. Now, if it is directly given or hours or units, you must note for what period they are given. If actual is for the month, we are computing variances for the month. If actual is for the year, we are computing every variance for the year. So note for what period. In absence of information, by default it is annual. But still some questions may say weekly, monthly, 6 monthly or quarterly variances. That can be asked by question. So do it accordingly. FO2. Budgeted fixed overheads for the same period. Similar, either directly given, ensure for same period. One question gives actual monthly fixed overhead, budgeted annual fixed overhead. I need to convert budgeted into monthly because budgeted will be for same period as is the actual. So if it is given for different periods, make it in accordance with actual. If actual is monthly, budgeted also make monthly. If actual is annual, make budgeted also annual. So budgeted has to conform to the actual. Or budgeted fixed overhead per hour multiplied by budgeted hours, or budgeted fixed overhead per unit multiplied by actual units. So they are parallel steps, similar to each other. Actual into actual is FO1. Busted into busted is FO2. Very simple. FO3. What was it? Days based absorption. But you need to remember the header. Header, there are 3 stages to remember. 3 different parts of the header that you should remember. Fixed overheads absorbed for actual days worked based on standard rate per day. Now these are 3 different parts. Fixed overheads absorbed for actual days worked based on standard rate per day. There are 3 different parts of the header. Must remember like this. Even FO4, FO5 will be very easy if you remember like this. How to calculate is equal to standard fixed overhead rate per day multiplied by actual days worked. How to calculate? Budgeted fixed overheads divide by budgeted days multiplied by actual days worked. Busted fixed overhead is FO2 divided by busted days multiplied by actual days. FO4. Similar header. Fixed overheads absorbed for actual hours worked based on standard rate per hour. Instead of word days, it is hours. Everything else is same. Instead of days, there is word hours. How I compute it? Standard fixed overhead rate per hour multiplied by actual hours worked. This is budgeted fixed overheads divide by budgeted hours multiplied by actual hours worked. This is FO4. FO5. The many ways of writing the header of FO5. Standard fixed overheads for actual production. That is the best way of writing last step of any cost variance. Standard cost for actual production. Just name the cost in between. Standard cost for actual production. L5, M4, VO3, FO5. They are named in the same manner. Standard cost for actual production. Or alternatively, standard fixed overhead cost for the output, or fixed overheads absorbed for actual units produced based on standard rate per unit. They are all three correct versions. The first one is the best one, although you can use any of the three. Now, how to compute it? Standard fixed overheads per unit multiplied by actual output in units. Budgeted fixed overhead cost divide by budgeted units multiplied by actual output in units. There is an alternate way also. Standard fixed overheads per unit is equal to standard fixed overhead per hour multiplied by standard hours per unit. Now this is important. Sometimes this part can be computed like this. Instead of busted fixed cost divided by busted units, you can use this. It is simple. If in making this marker per hour cost is 5 rupees and it takes 2 hours to produce one marker, so for one marker cost is 10 rupees. 5 per hour and 2 hours per unit. It makes 10. That is written here. In logic it is more easy. Learning a formula is something else. So sometimes if busted fixed overhead cost divided by busted unit cannot be used, the shortcut is like this. When hours per unit are given, then hours per unit are multiplied with standard rate per hour. From where to get standard rate per hour? In FO4 we computed. Standard rate per hour multiplied by standard hours per unit. From there we can get standard cost per unit multiplied by actual output in units. Now having got these 5 steps, what I do? I make table of variances. Table of variances. Fixed overheads cost variance FO5 minus FO1. Under that, fixed overheads expenditure variance FO2 minus FO1. Right hand side, fixed overhead volume variance FO5 minus FO2. Under this there are 3 variances. in sequence calendar capacity efficiency. Fixed overheads, calendar variance, FO3 minus FO2. Fixed overheads, capacity variance, FO4 minus FO3. Fixed overheads, efficiency variance, FO5 minus FO4. Same point keeps on coming to my mind. Why are they called so? You'll get to know in detail in interpretation lecture. At the moment, just remember in sequence on the top cost, left hand side expenditure, right hand side volume, under volume, first one is calendar, capacity, efficiency. Then it is reverse counting only that I am writing. So you should be able to remember the variance table. There is one note also to remember. Note. This note is for all categories of variances. If a particular step is not applicable, we will use the value of previous step in that. For example, FO3 is not applicable, use FO2 value in FO3 also. In sale category, sometimes there is a single product, then SV3 not applicable. Then instead of SV3, use the value of SV2. Here many questions, days are not given, neither given nor can be computed. When days are not there, FO3 cannot be applied. When FO3 cannot be applied, use the value of FO2 in FO2 also, FO3 also. So this is one point that will be applicable in all variances in model steps approach. These are some concepts in fixed overhead variances. I will take you through variable overhead also, then only we will read some question. Variable overhead is not difficult at all. So I am making a heading there. Variable overhead variances. In this VO1, actuals just like FO1, VO2 hours based absorption, just like FO4, and VO3 units based absorption. Just like FO5. As I said earlier, variable overhead is subset of fixed overhead. If question does not tell you what kind of overhead it is, I love to apply fixed because it is more detailed than variable. Variable has only 3 steps and limited variances. So I am writing the headers here. VO1, actual, variable, overheads cost for a period. Details as in FO1. Means either it will be given or actual variable overhead rate per hour into actual hours, actual variable overhead per unit into actual units. So it is copied from FO1. VO2. Variable overheads absorbed for actual hours worked based on standard variable overhead rate per hour. So how you compute it? Just like as in FO4. Standard variable overhead rate per hour multiplied by actual hours worked. This is equal to budgeted variable overhead divided by busted hours multiplied by actual hours worked. I have not done anything new. It is carbon copy of FO4. Only thing is here variable overheads are getting used. VO3. Standard variable overhead cost for actual production or standard variable overhead cost of the output or variable overheads absorbed for actual units produced based on standard rate per unit. So how to compute it? Just like FO5. Standard variable overhead rate per unit multiplied by actual output in units. Budgeted variable overhead divided by busted units multiplied by actual units. So they are exactly same as in FO5. VO3 is to be computed for variable overheads. Table of variances. As it is a very small category, only 3 steps, table is very small. The table looks like this. Variable overheads cost variance. VO3 minus VO1. Under this 2 categories only. Variable overheads expenditure variance VO2 minus VO1 and variable overheads efficiency variance 3 minus 2. No sub-classification because there are only 3 steps to take care of. These are all concepts related to overhead category of variances. So lastly in this, I am going to take you through one question each in variable overheads and fixed overhead category of variances. We are looking at B category questions. In B category, B1 relates to variable overheads. I am looking at question B1. Question B1. It gives me production units, variable overheads and hours work details for variable overheads. Only variable overheads are there, no fixed overheads there. So I'm looking at my steps. VO1. Actual variable overheads cost incurred. Exactly like this you have to write in the exam. It is given. Actual is given rupees 7,000. Given. VO2. Variable overheads absorbed for actual hours worked based on standard rate per hour. VO2, variable overheads absorbed for actual hours worked based on standard rate per hour. You look at the question carefully. You are given budgeted 7,800 variable overheads and you are written there 20 hours per unit. What I need to calculate? I am writing here budgeted variable overhead divide by budgeted hours. I don't need per unit, I need total budgeted hours. So I multiply that with units. Hours per unit given, I multiply with budgeted units, I will get total budgeted hours. Multiplied by actual hours. So variable overhead budgeted given at 7,800. Divide by budgeted hours. 300 into 20. This is the only important point of this question. Multiplied by actual hours. Actual hours are directly given 4,500. So what I am getting here, concentrate step by step. Questions are going to be very easy, not difficult at all. 7,800 divide by 6,000 multiplied by 4,500. This is 1.3 per hour multiplied by 4,500. Once you multiply, you are getting 5,850. This is VO2. Nothing difficult. You do same things again and again in different questions. You will find it very simple. If I look at this B category, it comprises around 15-16 questions. So once you practice it thoroughly, you will find it very simple. So next few lectures, we are going to solve so many questions. So concentrate on this. Learn every step that you have studied today. Today is a base lecture. Next few lectures are dependent on today's learning. So must learn. I told you in first lecture, apply 30 minutes on daily basis for learning. At the end of the day, today, you should have remembered 4 categories. Sale value, sale margin, variable overhead, fixed overhead. Next few days are on variable and fixed overhead. Then we do material, then we do labor, and then the things will be complete. Miscellaneous will carry all the mix of these questions. VO3. Standard variable overhead cost for actual production. I am writing the first header that I have given you, equals budgeted variable overheads divide by budgeted units multiplied by actual units. Very simple. All given in question. 7800 divide by 300 multiplied by 250. 7800 divided by 300, this is 26 per unit multiplied by 250. It is 6500. 6500. Is the question complete? No. Do you get any marks till now? No. After table only you will get the marks. So this is table of variances. Variable overheads cost variance, VO3 minus VO1, 6500 minus 7000. $500 adverse, under this two items, variable overheads expenditure variance, which is VO2 minus VO1, 5850 minus 7000. I think it is 1150 adverse and variable overheads efficiency variance, VO3 minus VO2, which is 6500 minus 5850, 650 favorable. This is complete question B1. Last question for the day, question B2. And it is small, easy, standard question on fixed overheads category. Not difficult at all, very simple question. Let's put all the headers and all the calculations. FO1, actual fixed overheads cost incurred. It is given in question 31,000. 31,000 given. FO2, budgeted fixed overhead cost for the same period. It is also given rupees 30,000. given. FO3. Fixed overheads absorbed for actual days worked based on standard rate per day. How did we compute that? Budgeted fixed overhead divided by busted days multiplied by actual days. Busted fixed overheads were given at 30,000. Busted days given at 25 multiplied by 27. 30,000 divided by 25, 1200 multiplied by 27. 32,400. This is FO3. FO4. Fixed overheads absorbed for actual hours worked based on standard rate per hour. Now it is equal to standard fixed overhead rate per hour multiplied by actual hours worked. Both are directly given. Below the table, both the things are directly given. Busted rate per hour, standard rate per hour, they are same. Busted and standard are same when they are given per hour, per unit. In totality, they may be different. I have talked about that earlier in the flexible weight also. But in totality, per hour they are same. So you are given rupee 1 per hour multiplied by 31,500 hours. So it is rupees 31,500. FO5. The FO5 standard fixed overhead cost for actual production equals budgeted fixed overhead divided by busted units multiplied by actual units. In this question, everything given very simply. Being first question, it is bound to be easy. Later on, you will get some difficult questions also, but steps remain same. Divided by 20,000 multiplied by 22,000. This is what I am getting. 1.5 multiplied by 22,000. This is rupees 33,000. This is FO5. Last thing for the day, making the table of variances. Table of variances. Fixed overheads cost variance. FO5 minus FO1. Let us check. 33,000 minus 31,000. 33,000 minus 31,000. The answer is 2,000 favorable. 33 minus 31 is 2,000 favorable. Then two categories further. Fixed overheads, expenditure variance. FO2 minus FO1. FO2 was 30,000. Minus 31,000. So I'm getting is 1,000 adverse. Right hand side, fixed overheads, volume variance. FO5 minus FO2. FO5 33,000 minus FO2 30,000. 3,000 favorable. Under volume variance, there are three categories further. Fixed overheads, calendar variance, fixed overheads, capacity variance, fixed overheads, efficiency variance. The formulas for that: FO3 minus FO2, 4 minus 3, 5 minus 4. What was FO3? 32,400. 32,400 minus 30,000. This comes out to 2,400 favorable. If you don't write favorable adverse, you will not get any marks in the exam. FO4 was 31,500. 31,500 minus 32,400. This is 900 adverse. FO5 minus FO4, 33,000 minus 31,500. 1,500 adverse. These are ultimate answers that you will get in this B2. This is B2. We'll continue with more questions in next class.